button.
I could totally imagine Measurehead saying, "Haha, losers! I am from my dad's big load. He dumped on my mom. I am very masculine."
I mean, they're always gonna find some aspect that becomes a receding amount of not provable, like so they can have something to feel better about themselves for. Hello, welcome to Fast Food Thursday. I have my new
Hey yo.
clickety clack keyboard. Oh yeah, you are live, so look at
Yeah, I know.
this.
Yeah, I have something to
Clacky.
show off today
yeah.
for today's elementary class show and tell.
Yeah, just for the record, I have slept in that bed.
Yeah.
Shit!
It's
Yeah, I fucked Burger in the ass.
It was way fucking cold. That fucking.
I was about to say, did you fuck Burger in that bed?
I frankly, knowing how just huge you are, I don't know how you fit in there. I mean, in the bed.
Anyways, yes, I have a thing to show off.
Yeah.
Yeah, Biggie. How did you fit your massive penis inside a burger?
Yeah. I know. Yes, while we're talking about my massive penis, this is a particle detector.
Yeah.
That's a particle.
Well,
oh, nice.
Yep. I mean, you can see it. This is just silicon, basically.
So what happens when it detects particles? What happens?
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is like term blue
okay, do you want
something.
It detects particles. No, but I actually can explain how it works if you'd like.
Yeah.
Right. So, aside from the actual particle detector, I have this, which is just a chunk of broken detector as well. Let's see if the camera focuses on it.
Yeah, it's like a gold. I'm assuming it's silicon with like a gold
it's
layer.
It's silicon at the bottom. It's silicon, the substrate. And okay, now this camera is shit and does not like to focus.
Want to look at
well, it's like, what's the material on top?
Maybe it's because of the particles.
Top, yeah, of course. On top is a basically a circuit made of aluminium, which gets put into a cryostat, which cools it down to 20 millikelvin. At which temperature, quite a bit above that temperature, aluminium becomes a superconductor. So what this is,
that's like really fucking cold.
Yeah, that's like a few degrees centigrades or whatever milli-degrees you like above absolute zero.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. It's less than a degree away from absolute zero. So basically, each one of these little dices, these cuts, which if you can see, maybe basically they go down into the bulk of the silicon, all the way to near the opposite surface. Can you see it? Can you see that there's like a slit?
Yeah. I can kind of like when you had it facing forward, I saw the slits a lot easier.
Yeah, because basically they're just cut into the whole thing.
Yeah,
and they go all the way down. Hang on, let me use my Italian skin. Basically you can see it. It goes all the way down to almost near the surface, which is here, which you can kind of see has the traces of aluminium on top. Here on the actual detector, you can see there's a lot of them normally when they're put together. And basically, what happens is there's a particle comes in. Specifically, this is made to detect neutrinos, which are the most difficult to detect, simply because they're very, very, very light and they interact very rarely. But when a neutrino will interact with the silicon inside of this, what it will do is it will bounce off of the atomic nucleus of the silicon, which will then wiggle ever so slightly, creating a vibration in the silicon lattice, which, since it's so small in terms of energy, is basically the energy is quantized, so this vibration behaves kind of like a particle. It's called a phonon, because
so you're explaining some physics.
Yes, I'm explaining the particle detector that I'm
Shut up,
showing off.
Posh.
No.
Anyways,
No, this is actually really interesting. I'm listening.
here, Posh, since you weren't here, a particle detector.
So like when it detects a neutrino, the
Mhm.
way you can tell it detects a neutrino is when it wiggles a little bit.
When it has a small vibration inside, which mechanical vibrations in a material are sounds, so they're called phonons.
Yeah.
What happens then? It's not over. There's an entire chain of events that happens. What happens then is that the phonon travels in the material, bouncing around until it enters the aluminium that is deposited at the top, which you can kind of see the trace for.
I can see a little bit. I mean, you can only do as good as the camera
Yeah.
can do.
Yeah, I can actually take a camera with my better phone, a picture with my better phone, and send it. I just realized.
with your better phone.
Well, this one is like
better
broken.
phone.
This one is broken and doesn't have like the back.
No,
This
I
part
have
is just gone.
Yeah, I have a couple of I have like 2 phones I use as well, one for work and one for personal. So I know what he's talking about.
For work and one for pornography, you mean?
Yes, exactly.
Ouch. Very true.
Are you showing? Is this video coming from your pornography phone, Mateo?
Yes.
No,
Yes,
this
of
is
course.
really this is like
Okay, so-
really fucking cool.
You can sort of see the circuit on this photo, but like you can actually see it with the naked eye because it's not that small. But what it is a capacitor, a superconducting capacitor, and a superconducting inductor. Those of you who know electronics know that that's a resonating circuit, the basis of like radios and shit like that, which will
Yeah.
have a resonant frequency. The interesting thing about it being made of a superconductor is that superconductors have an inherent inductance because of basically the way they do superconductance. The particles that move around the electricity has like a certain amount of inertia. So it doesn't like to change directions and change the flow of electricity, and that's basically what inductance is: a resistance to a change of flow of electricity. So what happens is when this phonon goes into the superconducting material, it breaks apart the pair of electrons that is the particle that basically transports electricity in a superconductor, and therefore it changes the parameters of this resonating circuit. So what happens is the resonance frequency of this resonating circuit just shifts a little bit before going back to normal. And so you can see the change in the resonant frequency of this resonator circuit, and that way you know that you've just seen a particle.
Oh.
And that's what I do all day, every day, and it's actually kind of fucking boring to look at graphs all day. But you know what? It's fun.
So
in
if
the end.
I've just been to the black market, right? To the
Mhm.
colorist market.
I just
Walk into
before
your room.
You know that they don't sell those anymore, right, Gideon?
Walk into your room with like a whole. Well, they do in Qatar.
Very true.
Yeah.
Walk into the room with like a whole bag full of neutrinos, and
Yeah.
I stumble.
An ounce of neutrinos.
I say your full actual address on live stream on the internet, and
Yeah.
I stumble. All the neutrinos spill out of the bag. What what happens with the thing? Like, what does it do to tell you alert? There are particles.
Well, I told you, there's basically what happens is there's a resonance circuit which you power with a
Well,
just
but
a
well,
frequency
how would you
generator.
know, like right now, if you don't hook this thing up to anything?
Well, you wouldn't.
So there could be several
so-
neutrinos in the room with you right now, and you wouldn't even know.
Okay, so
There are
This is
there are
useless then.
several
Just,
neutrinos
okay,
in the
I
room
think-
with you right now as well.
Yeah, I think
No,
I think
because
think
I
that's the
have a
point of
functioning
neutrinos
detector
is that
here,
they're
and he has
everywhere.
not said anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say Gideon like fucking dumps out his bag of neutrinos, and then I take a credit card and I cut them up into lines, and then I take a €100 note and I
Yeah.
just start snorting neutrinos, what would happen to me?
Not much, because neutrinos don't do shit.
Okay, so
why do you even want to
so
find them?
neutrino, yeah, so
Because they don't
neutrinos
do
are worse
shit,
than
but
cocaine.
they are made from like in nuclear reactors.
If you can't even make them into drugs, why even research
Yeah, if I
them?
can't, if I can't use them as cocaine, then why? What's the
Yes,
point?
hello. I am a former biology
I'm
student.
sure. I'm sure you can find like some Walter White guy who will do 99%, you know,
Pure
pure
neutrinos.
Also,
cocaine.
Biggie,
And then you pass it through the mass spectrometer or whatever, and it goes from 99 to 100% purity, just like that.
Excellent.
Also, Biggie, I just wanted to ask you, how does it
Yeah.
make you feel that like somebody with the same amount of like brain matter in their skull, like
Mhm.
takes what your brain does, and
Mhm.
then like says the Earth is flat, 5G towers cause cancer, and Donald Trump is the president.
Oof.
Well, I mean,
I guess that's more of a mental health thing.
yeah, exactly. But also, like, I don't know. I honestly, I kind of feel pity them a little bit because, like, damn, you must really be scared all the time.
I think that's the most amazing thing about humanity is that like on the one hand you get people like Biggie who are just like exploring like the depths of the universe, like actually doing like real hard
And putting
science,
up
like
some fire albums too while they're at it.
yeah, and
really-
then you have like people like me, like the
Yeah.
regular folks, like just like doing work and just like being productive, and then you have like people who are just like, yeah, Donald Trump, 2024, fucking 5G towers, that's cancer. Fucking Kanye West, yeah, yeah, Hitler was right.
I mean, let's be honest. Let's be fully honest. Even if you look at that spectrum, it's still probably like a smaller spectrum than like dog smarts.
I do.
Yeah,
I do
because
love
like
that
90%.
I do love that the statement "Hitler was right" was followed by it. Well, if we're entirely honest,
Oh, hang on. Let me post this picture really quick because
Anyway, yeah.
Also,
just
hear me out,
just
right?
before you posted, fucking Alex Jones went on the air, and this is the fucking cast of Alex.
Oh
Jones right now.
yeah. And
Oh, boy.
the person with the shit on their head is just Kanye West.
Yeah, that's kind of yeah, and like during like one of the promos,
Who the fuck is the guy all the way on the right?
That's not Dinesh.
it's the Dalai Lama.
No, that's that one guy.
Also,
The one Andrew Tate wannabe.
Damn.
I forgot
you're
his
gonna
name.
have to be way more specific because there are so many of those right now. So
Yeah.
I don't even know who
I
Andrew
do-
It's like
is.
Solka or Solja.
Hmm.
Soka.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Soulja
let me-
Boy.
Yes,
Yeah.
Soulja
Lol.
Boy. Let me
Crank that
close.
shit.
Hear me out. So if you touch the resonant circuit to an amplifier circuit,
Yeah.
and then the amplifier circuit to
Oh
CTOR,
shit.
Yeah.
you could put him in a chair and drop the bucket of neutrinos
Yeah.
and ask him where Bin Laden is, and
Yeah.
he'll probably tell you.
Well, no, he won't be able to tell you where Bin Laden is, but he will be able to tell you that Iran has weapons of mass destruction.
Mass destruction.
Yeah.
I was gonna say when Wallam started talking, I was like, "Oh, thank God, there's somebody as smart as Biggie to talk to him."
Hey, Vicky,
Also,
And he
like,
kept talking.
we're joking, but like detecting plutonium enrichment inside of nuclear reactors is exactly the kind of application that this kind of detectors can do as well.
Yeah.
Lamau.
Which is
Yeah.
why you're not
You have
allowed
to
to bring
say.
that to my house.
Yeah.
What did
Well,
you
as long as
just hide, Burger?
I do
Burger
not
Man.
actually rent a basement room.
Anyways, Before
doubt that
I did want to add that the detector that we have in our lab right now can detect particles with energies down to 25 electron volts, which for anybody that knows any particle physics will know that that is fucking nothing. And in theory, this detector that I have in my hand should be able to do better than that. Probably twice as better.
Damn.
But yeah, we're putting it in a cryostat tomorrow, and then we're gonna be testing it over the week.
Why do you have it on your person though?
I went to get
No,
it.
they're
I
not
went to
testing
get it
that one.
today from a different university in a different city in Italy.
I was about to say, yeah, like the one he's holding, he's probably not going to use.
Oh no! This is literally the ones that we are going to
Oh,
put in a
okay.
cryostat tomorrow and then test over next week.
So, but it's not like
So
regular porn phone situation. It's not a regular neutrino detector and porn neutrino detector.
Oh,
Well,
kind of.
yes, there is.
Kind of. There's one that we entirely that we're gonna entirely do experimental shit on, mauling it with an ultrasound wire bonder to try and make shit
Also,
more even. But yeah,
I kind of have a serious question here. So you're holding the thing you're going to test. So like the
Yep.
oils on your skin or the particles in the air are not going to affect testing? Or are those too large to affect
not
testing?
particularly, because basically when they're on the material, they're going to be put in a vacuum, so they will all evaporate.
Okay.
And then whatever is left is going to be frozen so cold that it won't matter anyways.
Having worked in a physics lab, a chemistry lab, and a biology lab, the physics lab is the only one where they just walk around in regular clothes.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I'm thinking because like my
The
I
most
had an
dangerous
aunt.
thing. Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was going to say I had an aunt who worked at a factory here in Sioux Falls for Western Digital. This is like way back in the 90s. So they were so like this factory here was making armatures for spinning hard drives. And because of that, they had to wear like full like body suits and everything because
Oh yeah, of
even
course, clean room protocols.
yeah, because even like the most like minute particle of like oil or like skin flake would totally like fuck up a whole batch of armatures.
That is because you move shit very, very fast in that kind of situation. So you're actually like moving stuff, you're rotating stuff extremely fast. So if there's any kind of unbalance, like it will tear itself apart.
Yeah, so that's where I'm like asking the questions
Yeah.
from because she worked with like micro
Yeah.
like hard drive armatures, which is very tiny, but you're
Yeah.
working with something even
Yeah.
smaller than that. So yeah.
Yes, but that's why it's safer, because it's not as big of a thing, basically. So yeah, it's basically it's not going nowhere near as fast it would shatter if you moved it that fast.
Yeah.
And it just needs to basically cool down as a whole, and the basically the printed circuit on top of it to be intact and not ruined. And other than that, it should work by itself.
Yeah.
There is some consideration about like how fast it will cool down as well. So if you put just a bunch of dirt on it, it will cool down. But like the way we store them, our old detectors are covered in dust.
Oh dear.
So-
Well, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Also, this whole conversation has reminded me of the Bobby Brock. I don't know if anybody here watches Bobby Broccoli on YouTube, but he's done some really incredible videos on like the on the whole like project in Texas, of the and like CERN and all that. So this is reminding me of like those huge fucking projects which here in the States completely failed, but Europe,
Well, we go
managed to
more
do
slowly
better.
and more carefully.
Yeah, Europe is more slowly and more carefully, whereas like the United States is more.
You'll have more space
bombastic.
for that shit, though. Like, let's be serious. You could.
Yeah,
have
which
the
is like we
space for
should
more
have.
said.
Yeah, we have the space for it, but it's like our politics are so fucked because it's like, yeah, Texas was totally down to build like the largest fucking
the SSC.
laboratory. Yeah, the SSE, but it's like all the other states were like, we're not gonna have the SSC. Why should we give money to this?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it just fucking failed.
Well, that's the interesting thing. To be fair, it's not a general fact about the US. It's specifically the way they decided to make to convince people to build the SSC, because in that situation they marketed it basically as a job making project, as like a big public work, whereas if you marketed it as more of a like just science endeavor, it might have worked better and retained more funding.
I mean, fucking CERN
yeah,
literally
that
runs
said-
across country
Yeah.
national borders. Like,
Also, I just wanted to mention really quick because I do live in South Dakota. We do have, and this is thanks to the, like, back in the 1800s, we signed the treaty with the Native Americans, aka the American Indians, over the Black Hills, and then we reneged on that treaty and killed a bunch of them and started mining the fuck out of the Black Hills. Well, as a result of that, all that mining for like gold and various ores and stuff, we now have the deep underground neutrino laboratory, aka the Sanford Laboratory, out in the Black Hills. So like our research into neutrinos here in South Dakota, which probably helps you guys out there in Europe, is a result of racism.
well, I mean, they would have built that thing somewhere else.
Yeah. It's just. I think it's. I don't know. For some reason, I'm just like when you mention neutrinos, I'm like, hey, I remember neutrinos.
Oh, it's
we
the
have.
N-word.
Yeah, we
Anyways.
have like a massive laboratory out in the Black Hills.
Anyways,
for neutrinos.
before
Yeah.
sorry to cut you off, but I was supposed to go off and fucking be a nerd, play D&D with my group 20 minutes ago. So
Yeah, well,
Oh,
then pop
yeah,
off,
yeah,
my man.
yeah.
Thank you for nerding out with us
yeah,
here.
of
No,
course,
no, this was
Fucking
awesome.
rocks.
Thank you for
yeah,
thank
you're
you for
welcome.
talking about this. Thank you.
It
You're
brought
welcome.
up
I enjoy
so
doing
many
it.
memories from my school days. Holy crap, bro!
Nice.
I'm just a truck
Goodbye,
driver.
my
No,
man.
fucking terrible.
Yeah, I'm
Why?
just a truck driver. I love this shit.
You're welcome.
Fuck you! You brought back school day memories. I hate you so much.
It's fucking
Anyway,
rules.
No, that's so fucking cool that you got like people you got people watching you and like in your Discord server who do like really like real science shit. That's fucking cool. They're like changing the world. He's like changing the world, and
Yeah.
he's in your fucking server.
Unlike certain billionaires.
Yeah, well.
I mean, yeah.
I just had to get that jab in. I'm sorry.
You don't,
I
you
had
don't know
to.
that. Musk might be in the server. Like, there's a lot of people we don't know.
I mean,
if you are watching, Elon, I mean, you can afford to up your Patreon a little bit. I mean, fucking Matt is already very generous, so fucking
Yeah, like throw $50, Elon.
Throw
Come
50
on.
bucks.
yeah.
50
Who knows?
bucks.
There might be a mysterious grand patron somewhere that we don't know.
I mean, I used to be a grand patron kind of stuff, but I should probably start back
What do
up
you mean
again.
you're not a grand patron anymore? The grand patrons are fucking the
Oh, wait,
$10
no.
ones.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not paying 50. I'm not paying $50.
Yeah, I mean, I have nothing against that. This
I
is
can-
very
I
clearly
can
illegal as a goal.
I can expend a bit of money this month.
Dude, I don't. You
I
know
will
what I
fucking
mean?
do it, Burger. Burger, I will fucking do it. You will accept this money. Fuck you, bitch.
I
Well,
mean, I'm not going to
I-
say no, but don't feel forced
Nah.
to do that. Do you want to see? Do you want to see a
Today.
guy who isn't even the oldest person alive?
No. I'd rather not.
I don't care.
I
This
do have
motherfucker,
to
he's
say
like
today-
109 years
I
old.
saw this guy. I saw this
Yeah.
guy
Oh,
like
yeah.
last year. This dude's cool as fuck.
He's
dude's
109
awesome.
years old.
Yeah.
Freaking legend.
No, this dude's cool. I like this guy.
There was a
you-
story that it's like some 400-year-old woman. That is not the case. It's a guy and he's 109. Which, I mean, I've seen 109 years old who look way better than this.
I do have to say
No,
though,
no, yeah,
like,
yeah.
what happens? How the fuck is he still alive after fucking COVID?
I don't know. I mean, he probably got it.
I mean, he probably lives in like a village in Tibet or Nepal,
Yeah, he's a
which
monk.
gets like one. Yeah, which gets like 2 people visiting like every fucking
He
year.
broke his
So-
head recently and went to the hospital, and then and he's fine now.
I feel
Yeah,
really bad for this
speaking-
joke,
Yeah.
but
Oh no! Fucking do it! Fucking do it! Fucking do it, man!
What are you looking at, smooth skin?
Oh my god, yeah.
No, you didn't.
Oh,
Please.
hell yeah. dude.
Like
do have
what? One of the morning shows here in the United States, I think it's like the NBC morning show. They do like every morning. They like wish happy birthday to all the centenarians. I think that's what they're called. You know,
Yeah.
like the over 100.
I think it's Super Centenarian? I'm not sure.
Yeah, like super and they always list like 3 or 4, like 2 or 3 people each day, and it's like, oh yeah, here's the Dharma Greg, 107 years old. Hope he got many years ahead of you, and they show like a picture of her, and she just looks like some old chick, and she's like 107 years old, and it's yeah, it's like, okay, good for her,
I love that when you become like 100 in the UK, the Queen or the King now sends you a letter, like personally.
Like, hey,
Yes,
you done
yeah.
it, bruv. You
My
you done
great-grandmother
made
got one.
you done made England.
Please
proud.
die now. We need the pension benefits for other people. Thank you.
Also, there's like a comedian. I forgot who it was. It's either like George Carlin. It was like one of the like great comedians.
Yeah.
one of the
like
funny
that-
ones.
Yeah, one of the funny ones. They said like, you know what? Once you get over 100 years old, you should just be allowed to kill whoever you want. It's like the law. They basically says like, yeah, like if you get over 100 years old, like laws should not apply to you because
you
he
mean,
basically
laws?
won. Because he basically won the human race.
Yeah.
So it's like you should just be allowed to kill whoever you want, take whatever drugs you want. Because you're like over 100. So
I mean,
who gives a
I
fuck?
personally, I'm of the opinion that you should already be allowed to take whatever drugs you want anyway.
Yeah.
But-
Well, this is like they made the joke like back in like the 1990s.
Yeah.
So yeah. But the big thing was like you should be allowed to kill whoever you want because it's like, to be honest, like if you die from being murdered by somebody over 100, you kind of deserved it because they're over 100.
I mean, that's a fair point, though. I do have to.
I mean,
Nice.
Yes.
what if they go glizzy with a truck? Just drift
Fuck
into
off.
you on the pavement.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I do have to say though, today has been fucking hell for me. Barely got a wink of sleep, and then stomach was hurting almost all day yesterday. Beginning like afternoon. Stomach hurts even more this morning and this afternoon. Then go to the doctor. It's acid reflux, like pretty bad.
Oh, that
acid
fucking
reflux.
sucks, dude. Acid
Oh,
reflux
yeah.
fucking sucks.
Yeah, I've had acid reflux before. It's like having a volcano inside of you.
Oh yeah. So he gave me He gave me like one prescription for 2 medications. One of which is like this tablet that you have to take just once, which absolutely just killed the acid reflux, which is great. But now it's back. And then he's given me some sort of like liquid that I have to drink, like this very viscous liquid. And I have to. It is the most foul shit I've ever drank. It tastes like fucking peppermint mixed with soap. It is fucking rank. And it's not like good peppermint, you know, where it's like subtle hints of peppermint. It's like, oh no, we've gone full out with the peppermint. There's like tons of it.
It's like peppermint oil.
I was gonna. There's somewhere in there was like a your dad's cum joke, but you know.
Don't you fucking dare.
That's weird to me because it's like they
This
sell,
pussy juice?
like here in the States, they sell acid reflux medication like over the counter. So it's like if you have acid reflux, you just
I mean, there's probably also like under the counter options, right? Like I go to the drugstore and get like anti heartburn pills. It's not a problem, but
Yeah, you can get antacids and stuff like that.
yeah.
yeah. It's like it's like we have like, you know.
Which really, it fucking sucks, like, not being an ant, because you could just buy acid, like, legally in the shop for ants. That fucking rules. Yeah, hell yeah. I love that this one really took a minute, and it's like, oh yeah,
Is that like microdosing?
Yeah. I don't think as an ant you can microdose unless you take, like, one molecule.
No, I mean if like we took acid for
No,
ants,
it doesn't
would
work
be
on
like
us.
microdosing.
Doesn't work.
Can you take acid for ants?
Yes, that's because it's so small.
You know that college I was helping out with that strikeout a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah, yeah. Did they have human acid?
No, but they were apparently part. I was talking to somebody there who was part of a program using, I believe it was shrooms, that were asked, I can't remember which, to try and treat depression, and they were testing it.
Oh yeah, isn't that kind of research starting to take off?
They do this with ketamine too. I know a guy who was doing that same level of research in like the Netherlands. He's been doing it for like a couple of years, but they ran into a logistical problem where basically they were working with another university in Czechia, and they weren't allowed to transport the drugs to each other like through German airspace because German airspace is fucking retarded.
Also, just for the record, just because you know a guy who does drugs doesn't make it research.
No, he's
shooting up crack.
It's because they couldn't do it because it's illegal and they were smugglers.
It is.
No, he was like a scientist. I mean, it's even he was researching there. It wasn't just a scientist who was doing drugs.
I'm a scientist too.
No, don't worry, I'm a scientist. Yeah,
No,
you're a
that's like
fucking art historian, dude.
No, that's like that's how it is here with weed. Cause like Washington and Colorado are like the largest producers of weed. And like so like there's many states who have weed legal now, but like the states around Colorado, like Nebraska, don't have weed legal. So like none of like the transportation companies, like shipping companies, will like accept delivering weed. So you have like these legitimate businesses in Colorado having to hire like people like with like just random people just to be like to drive weed from Colorado to like Iowa or
this
Illinois.
This is how it works in the Netherlands also, because growing and transporting weed and all that is also illegal there. It's just that they don't put you on trial for it. But legally speaking, the weed just sort of appears in the coffee shop. Like, it just is there one day. And then, oh, well, if it's here, I can sell it.
Yeah. So it's just like you have just like random people, like literally like on the level of like DoorDash or Uber, who are just like,
Yeah.
oh, you're just like, oh, you need to transport like 400 pounds of weed from Colorado to Iowa. Yeah, sure, I'll do it. And fingers crossed I don't get pulled over in Nebraska.
Yeah, because that could fuck you up. That could fuck you up
Oh
big
yeah.
time.
Oh yeah, totally. And it's like, of course, like none of the trucking companies, like my company won't haul weed, period. So it's like, yeah, you need like private contractors to do that.
That's like a lot of potential for fuckery.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
They're working. They're actually. I'm pretty sure they're committed to legalizing weed in Germany this year. They've been. It's
Which means they're thinking.
one of the
which means
major
they're thinking
policy
about doing
projects this year. What?
Which means they're thinking about doing it.
No, it's actually they're like in exploratory policy phases and shit. Like they're thinking about it properly. Because they're trying to, like, the government's trying to bring out one law after the other, and like the one that they focus on now was the Bürgergeld, which is supposed to be like a simplified and better welfare system that doesn't punish people as much. But the problem is it also needs to go through the council, the federal council, and the federal council is owned by the conservatives. And so they were like, yeah, you're gonna have to compromise, and by compromise we mean give us literally everything we want and completely gut this bill, and
Fucking
not
course.
really replace the flawed system that we had previously that is also our fault. Because when the last time such a leftist government was in place, we also controlled the council and we destroyed it. Because we hate people. And then what they always do is turn around and go, oh, they're not looking after the people. They need to do more social programs, these alleged leftists. You should vote for us. We would do a better job.
Yeah, I wonder
That's
why
the,
that's
the playbook. Yeah. That's the fucking playbook.
Wow.
Come back here, Boar. I need that skin.
Oh, so as people been like we mentioned it last week about how shit the new Pokemon game is. Hang on. Okay, never mind. I thought somebody crashed outside. Never mind. So like
Okay.
people have been playing the game more, and they found this Pokemon. This is a brand new Pokemon, which is literally just like a pair of mice. They're a noble type Pokemon, and they're a pair of mice. And they have like very high like fighting stats, but this is literally their evolution. Their evolution is they have kids. That's
Bro, I fucking
mean-
hate these Pokemon so much.
Good idea stretching the concept, I guess, but like
Have you seen the evolution for Dunsparce?
I don't even know what Dunsparce
Oh, yeah,
is.
the
I've never played
evolution
even a
for-
single Pokemon game.
yeah. The
Do you-
evolution for Dunsparce is like a slightly bigger Dunsparce.
That's it. They added like an extra torso
Yeah.
to an insect.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like the grass starter, when it's in its final evolution, it's like, I mean, like in its final evolution, like when you're like camping out and you have all your Pokemon out, like your grass evolution will like run up to you and kiss you. So that's got all the furries.
Excuse me,
That's
that
kind
is-
of gay.
That's
Yeah, so
fucking-
That is extremely
it
gay.
can't, I
yes.
don't think it can ask for consent before doing that.
No, yeah, it runs up and because obviously
Actually-
Oh shit.
you've been with it for so long, so like it really likes being around you, so like it runs up and kisses you. So all the furries are just like fucking
Going
freaking out about
absolutely nuts.
that. Yeah. And they're all like drawing porn of it, but it's like all the porn of it is like female, and it's like, wait a minute, like all the starters are like 80% male and like 20% female.
How,
you're
how many Pokemon are there at this point?
It's close
A
to
lot.
It's close to 1,000 now.
I feel like
It should be
eventually you
more
would
than
run
that.
out of ideas.
You would
Yeah.
think-
Well, a while back, they made a Pokemon that was like a bag of trash.
Oh yeah, literally a bag of trash.
Yeah,
Finally, a
yeah,
Pokemon I can relate to.
yeah. And like its evolution was like a dumpster.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oscar
I
the
remember that
Grouch.
Pokemon. I
Yeah,
remember
No.
that Pokemon.
yeah. It was in Pokemon Black and White, which was like Pokemon Black and White was set in an analog
Is
for Neo.
Pokemon Black just way harder than Pokemon White? Because
That
you
actually
you
has
start
a-
in the ghetto, there's like the Pokemon police trying to fucking shoot you up. You don't even get like a proper starter Pokemon. It's like what is
Actually,
it? I was gonna
actually,
say what is a tree that you find in American ghettos, but you don't really find many trees in American ghettos because of the urban
Yeah.
planning there, ruining the microclimate with vicious amounts of concrete. So Dr. Concrete is like, yeah, we only got this one. And it's just and it's the shittest Pokemon there is. And then you have Pokemon
To-
White,
to
you
be
go to
hon-
private
to-
school.
to be honest, Pokemon Black and White does have the best story out of all the Pokemon games. Because
Really?
it has nothing to do with games or anything. It has like shit to do with like there's this because Pokemon Black and White is set in an analog of New York City, and the antagonist
It
in
works.
the game
It works.
I
works.
love that
It-
the
it-
only Pokemon game that because all the other ones are focused like your enemies are always like the gang and like the plot is kind of carried on by like Team Magma or Team Rocket or like some gang, except the one based in New York. Because why
Well,
would the one based in
Po-
New York have gangs?
Well, Pokemon X and Y is set in France. But Pokemon
Oh,
Black
yeah.
and White, yeah,
Do they have
Pokemon
a
X and Y
burning
is
car
set.
Pokemon in that one?
They do have pigeon Pokemon, and they do have pigeon Pokemon. That's where the garbage bag and dumpster Pokemon are from as well. Is Black and White, but like the enemy in Black and White, which is why people say it has the best story. It's like this anti-technology. It's this anti-technology cult, and they want to. They want to free all Pokemon from human bonds, but in doing so, they like enslave Pokemon as well.
So PETA, basically.
Yeah, so basically PETA, and they also have like their uniform style is like Crusaders. They look like Crusaders, and it's a really interesting story. And they actually made like a later. They made like two versions of Black and White, which had two different stories, which is very interesting. It's like the most interesting story they ever made for a Pokemon game, and then they never did it again. You know,
Did
they
the
just
ones that dressed up as Crusaders also were they also racist or?
they were very racist.
It's
Yes.
Pokemon Black and White, dude.
Yeah, they were very they were like there's a clear separation between Pokemon and humans.
It's like oh yeah, that's because of all the Vaporeon fanfiction, dude. This
Oh my
No,
god.
no,
fuck
yeah,
that.
no,
trying to put a
it's
stop
like
to that shit.
no, there's like a clear like vibe in all the Pokemon lore, like that, like Pokemon and humans have very close relationships. That's like a thing in the Pokemon games. It's like there's like where to the point where like Pokemon and humans would marry each other. So
Oh,
it's like
no.
that's
Oh
canon.
my god! I was like, he means like French. It's like a platon. It's
No,
only
they're, like,
fan fiction when they fuck. But no, here we go. There it is.
no, like Pokemon marriage used to be a thing in Pokemon lore.
Oh dear lord.
Where like where it's like where it's like there's like where like humans and Pokemon actually get married. Yeah. No, that's the
this is-
evolution. No, that's the evolution for Dunsparce right there. It's like, oh, it has like one thorax, now it has two.
Do
You don't
they?
even need to make jokes anymore. They're just writing themselves.
Do
Yeah, the jokes aren't funny, guys.
you gotta get a burning cross Pokemon then for the
Jesus Christ.
That's for
Eric,
Pokemon
could you
White.
not?
yeah that's
Yeah.
it's like a 9mm Pokemon.
No, for Posh, because I know he's French. Yeah, Pokemon
Don't
X
you
and Y.
fucking dare.
No, Pokemon X and Y was set in France, and visually that was a very very cool because that was like the first 3D Pokemon. So
Alright.
that was a very interesting game.
In fairness, they didn't just give it another thorax; they also gave it a additional like
Stinger?
needle at the front of the face, like a barb, and also an extra line across the eye, and like a hat for its cock.
It's
And
called a
also
condom.
an extra pair of wings, but which is
Cringe.
kind of hot because the original pair of wings had like two, and now it's still the same amount of like wings. It's just that they divided up to an extra pair.
Burger, just stop, please. For the love of God. For the love of everything, please.
Stop
just had-
what?
I
I
Stop
mean,
streaming?
I mean, Pokemon lore is interesting, but it is kind of it gets kind of weird in some places. So
I
yeah,
can imagine.
Yeah, hell yeah! All right. So do we do jokes now? Do we?
No.
do we-
I'm just-
are we
I'm just-
allowed
I'm
to go
just-
back to doing jokes like with. Because I was told to stop making jokes. Like I don't know, we're just gonna sit here quietly and just complain about Pokemon for 2 hours.
No,
I'm
it's not
totally
that. It's
down.
just
I'm totally down for complaining about Pokemon. I could go on for hours if you
I'm
just give me the right.
photoshopping a Metagross's face into a
How about we
swastika just for this
complain about
joke.
something a little more relatable, like the French, maybe?
Oh, I
I'm
can
right here.
go on the French. Yeah, totally. I can go off on the French.
I have an evolution. I have a really cool evolution of a Pokemon. That I you know this Pokemon right here.
Let's see this, but
It's
LMAO.
this one. I have the evolution of it that exists now. It's really very
Hey,
cool. Very
look at
cool
this.
evolution of this Pokemon.
Look at my little house. Hey,
This one.
yeah, let's see the evolution of this Pokemon.
Yeah.
Oh wow, the eyes are slightly smaller.
Yeah.
Hey, did you know that like the Gideon type Pokemon has the same body type as humans?
Yeah.
Did you know that it could mean that like you could, and it also has the same egg type as humans as well.
don't you fucking start with this. I will fucking end you.
I mean, this is some people definitely do this kind of shit.
Yeah, I just okay. So I just want to mention, I wish I could be as offline as this woman in this picture. He has no fucking idea what Kanye's been up to.
He's
Like,
sitting next to Nick Fuentes. This is that dinner, right?
This is that
Possibly.
dinner
Oh
at
my
like the strip mall, like sushi bar. Yeah, this is literally like the last time she heard of Kanye was graduation. That was like the last time she remembered Kanye.
Incredible, dude. Absolutely incredible.
It's like, oh my god, I wish I could be as offline as she is, just to be happy. It's like, oh yeah, it's the guy who collabed with Daft Punk. Hell yeah.
Shout out to her, honestly.
Oh my
fuck.
god.
Did you see this clip where Alex Jones was the voice of reason in the room?
Yes,
where he
that's
was like, Kanye was like, I love Nazis, and Alex Jones was like, well, I'm gonna disagree with you on that one.
Yeah, no, like
Alex Jones of all people.
yeah, that's why I posted that picture before, is because like Alex Jones, like he's like, yeah, Nazis, yeah, those guys are kind of fucking assholes. Fuck them guys. And Kanye's like, oh, actually, Nazis are pretty awesome. And it's like, let's go to a break right now.
Did you see what JBP posted about anti-Semitism in relation to Kanye?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw that post, and I was like, the one half of this post just is different from the other, because it isn't like the sentence when anti-Semitism becomes like a moral obligation. I feel like that just really didn't have the same message as the rest of that tweet, so I'm really struggling to like understand what he meant by this.
Well, I think that like Jordan Peterson is saying that like whatever Kanye's anti-Semitism is bad, but he's saying it through Jordan Peterson. So it's like Jordan P. Okay, so sorry. So okay, so there's a trad like fitness channel that got outed. It's like what's the guy's name? I forgot the guy's name, but he has like a channel called like liver something. And it's
the guy who was doing steroids basically when he was talking about
said it was all natural.
Yeah.
It was all natural. Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and somebody did a comparison, so it's like what you think having an all meat diet is versus what an all meat diet actually is, and it's just a picture of Jordan Peterson.
He's really, I mean, aside from the fact that he literally has brain damage, like he's mentally just fucking knackered. And Kanye too, he literally has a personality disorder. Like he actually is just insane.
No, he is mentally ill.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. There's no argument. I mean, but
it really being anti-fascist is ableism.
Well, and okay, so like before all this went down, he was worth $2 billion, and then Adidas said we don't want to do this anymore, and Adidas themselves ate like $250 million in damages. So that was Adidas, but I think that cut Kanye's value down by like, what was it, like half?
Yeah, he was talking about how like the Jewish banks are like fucking blocking his accounts and shit. It's like, how have you considered maybe that you just are losing money because of being you right now?
Yeah, that's the only. It's like
you can think of.
It's like I'm Jewish, but I don't think we're that powerful. It's like I don't think we can do that. I'm like half Jewish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm not
so
like
real full Jewish.
Yeah, I'm not like real Jew.
That's Jewish enough, or as Kanye would say, too Jewish.
Yeah, I'm like Jewish enough for the Nazis. So
Jesus Christ.
They were very anal about it, though. They were like they're very German about it.
Yeah,
if you're honest.
They're very particular about it.
Yeah, it's like no, it is if it is one of the 28th Jewish, you're basically the same thing.
No, like a couple months ago, I mentioned that like my ancestors from Russia attended the wedding of like Madame Blavatsky. So nice. It's like, yeah, they claim to. I don't know if they did or not. It's like when you go back that far, it's like
listen. If it's a cool story about like the past of your family, it's true. Don't even like who gives a shit if it's not true.
Okay, sure. So like, yeah, my Jewish family in Russia at the time helped Madame Blavatsky escape to Iran so she could avoid getting married.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
That's definitely the thing that happened.
Yeah, sure. I mean, who cares? It happened in the
I-
1840s, so who cares?
It didn't even happen anyway. So all the history is made up. It's written by by Victor. Fucking
Yeah.
Who
By
is
fucking
Victor?
yeah,
Victor.
that motherfucker's a lie anyway.
Mhm.
Hey, eventually they fled Russia because Russia was too anti-Semitic, so they fled to Germany.
Oh,
Which is
dude, Russia was super. I mean, it kind of still, but back during like the before the Bolshevik uprising and shit, and like after that
yeah.
also, but like especially among the aristocracy, and there was like some aristocracy that was Jewish. They were unbelievably anti-Semitic.
Oh yeah, yeah. So it's
I mean,
like,
when it comes to Jews, I'm not too surprised that they're anti-Semitic against each other.
oh no, like Russia
No,
itself, like the
no, just
aristocracy.
Russians. I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But that's cringe.
Yeah, so it was like in the 1880s they like fled to Poland, and then like whatever Poland was, and then eventually they like settled in Germany because like Russia was too anti-Semitic, and Germany was considered a progressive state.
Yeah, there was this scene in Downton Abbey where like it's just the Bolshevik Revolution just happened, and like all the Russians are sort of fleeing. The Russian aristocracy is fleeing to the UK. And fucking. So there's like one of the fucking young women is like gets together with this guy who is like, oh, my surname is like an English surname. It's actually not really my surname. We changed the name when we came to England because we're Jewish and we're actually from Russia. And then she's like in this shelter that they made for these Russian aristocratic families. And she's like, oh yeah, my fucking boyfriend is also Russian, just like you. And they're like, yeah, where are you from? And he's like doing the thing with his like, stop talking about this fight. Yeah, shut the fuck up, bitch.
Bitch, you're gonna get us both killed.
And he says his real name. I don't remember what the real name was. That sounds Jewish. He's not Russian. I would kill him. He is evil. It fucking goes really crazy. And then because they got like kicked out by the Russian aristocrats like 30, 40 years ago, they're like English now and have a lot of money, and all these guys living in like homeless shelters now because they fucking had everything taken away from them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing I like think against, like, because my Jewish side is my mother's side, so I'm like, man, you guys really just stopped at Germany? You just didn't keep going west? You could have just like taken the boat, maybe.
I mean,
Nothing anti-Semitic's ever happened in Germany.
I mean, they could have like chilled out, like, because they moved to Germany in like the 1880s. Like, yeah, you could have like chilled out in Germany for like 40 years, but maybe you could just like, I don't know, maybe taking a boat when this Hitler guy just started piping up. Maybe, I don't know.
They just stayed there. I mean, before the Holocaust, Germany was the country in Europe with like the most, like, proportionally and also in absolute numbers, biggest population of like Jewish people in Europe.
I mean, no joke. They had like a very successful like transportation company.
A lot of people did.
Yeah, and it's like I just kind of find it funny, like how my mother said, it's like I'm a truck driver myself, and then like, well, my mom was a nurse, but her father, my grandfather, owned a trucking company in Germany.
Yeah.
And then like his father had a transportation company as well. And like going all the way back to when they first settled in Germany is just like we had like transportation / like
all
trucking
the way back
companies.
to Israel.
Yeah. They just had like a donkey and a cart.
Yeah, I remember this photo from history class where there's just this Jewish guy sitting in front of his like fucking glassware store or whatever, and like Nazis are coming by in the uniforms, and he's like talking to them. He has like his like uniform on, his military uniform. It's like full of medals from World War One. He was like a war hero, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude? This is my country. I fought and I fucking killed and I almost died for this land. My family. I've been paying taxes my whole life. My family's lived here for like 5 generations. What the fuck, dude?"
Yeah, and apparently that was like the same way with like my family too. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck are you doing this? It's like we've been here for. Like, it's like we're fucking Germans.
No, you're not. It's
it
Germans going like, no, you're not. Bitch.
It turns out we weren't. But luckily, the part they like, we survived everything that Gideon's ancestors threw upon us.
Actually, none of my ancestors were Nazis. So.
Oh hell yeah, good for you. Okay, so
I think one of them was a judge actually, but another one was a partisan fighter in Poland, so that kind of cancels out. I feel like.
Okay, so the fucking Krauts, we managed to survive, the fucking Germans, the fucking Krauts.
One of my great grandfathers died in the war, but he was with the Wehrmacht. He was not like an SS guy.
Oh no, like my grandfather,
Yeah, he
like
was drafted.
like my grandfather, his fucking grandparents, his parents, all died. His siblings all survived, luckily. And they managed to survive and be in the American zone.
Yeah.
Which is really good. Which is really good. They really lucked out on that. And yeah, they were able.
You wouldn't want to be in the French zone. That's basically fucking France.
Or the fucking Soviet zone. Jesus Christ. But no, he managed to get like interest-free loans from the U.S. to start a fucking trucking company.
Damn.
He got interest-free loans from the U.S. to start a trucking company in fucking Heidelberg, and he managed to make quite a bit of money for himself. So yeah.
So your job is like genetic, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah, like genetically, it's like we're like genetically predisposed to hauling cargo for other companies.
All hail Dorcas, head of the transportation cast. Praise be to the
I
wheel.
love the aesthetic of trucking. I have to say, I do like it. I hate having to be in vehicles, like I had driving and shit. I don't like that at all. But just the idea of being the guy running on the fuel in the countryside, like hitting the gas through the desert for like 1,000 kilometers. Which would be boring after like 5 kilometers to me. It would be unfathomably impossible.
No. You put on like a good like a vaporwave or just like a fucking vapor aesthetic like playlist on Spotify. That fucking desert cruise could go on for fucking hours.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like all you need is either like some fucking LSD or just like 700 milligrams of Benadryl.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop myself some fucking LSD as I drive a truck.
Or
Hey,
like,
brother.
or like a good like 600 to 700 milligrams of Benadryl.
Or how about this, right, Berg? Obviously, you can't drive, but here's the question: what if you were the shotgun guy for when they first start doing self-driving transport shit?
I think I would have to be able to drive for that. I mean, it would be a fire job as like just chilling, hanging out because I would get to see shit. I would like that, but I would immediately get bored. I've never relaxed for more than 10 minutes anyway, at any time. Like,
I mean,
after
it's
10
really-
minutes was
it's-
over, I was like just immediately going, okay, I need to do something now.
I mean, like Interstate 80 in the northern part of Nevada. It's like it's so nice to just like fucking because it's like you have literal stretches for like 30 or 40 miles where it's just completely straight, and you just put on some some fucking like a nice Spotify playlist, or you get like a really good audio book,
Yeah.
and you just fucking just cruise, and it's so nice, especially in the evenings or in the early mornings when the sun is rising. It's so fucking nice.
Excuse me, hang on. What the fuck?
Wait, what?
No,
Wait,
not about this. Not about you. I'm looking at the Pokemon that was just posted.
Oh, he's got the wheel of happiness
what do you-
and diversity.
What?
Oh yeah.
What is this supposed to
that
be?
one.
Like a fucking windmill?
The windmill of diversity and love.
Is this the Kanye starter? What the fuck? What is this? An actual fucking Pokemon?
Not quite.
I guess you could say this magnet always
This
points
is-
west.
This is the
Sorry,
actual
sorry.
Pokemon.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's just an. It's
I just-
I
I pulled out Photoshop and I thought it'd be funny.
It really is. I mean, to be fair, I would not be surprised at this point. I mean, I probably would have heard of it before this, but with how many Pokemon
No,
there are,
this would be really funny if like you modded the pixel art for this Pokemon in like the early games, and just to have like it actually spin around. So you can actually have like the windmill of friendship and diversity.
that was probably one of the funniest scenes in Community. Where fucking, he just triples down on the fucking swastika because he's trying to draw a windmill. I fucking died when I was watching that. That was one of those. You know those laughs that you like remember all your life. That was like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
With
hell
the
yeah.
fucking circle drawn around it as well.
Yeah, to like indicate that it's spinning.
Jesus Christ, Burger.
He just didn't understand. He didn't understand. Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, damn, Burger. You dying? You okay, brother?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh shit! You just remind me of a fucking audiobook I listened to on YouTube where. Okay, so I found this channel on YouTube. I forgot the exact name of it, but it basically like reads stories from the human fucky ass subreddit where it's like sci-fi stories where humans are fucking awesome and shit.
Hell yeah.
And I was like listening to this, like I just like download like stories off of it and listen to them when I drive. And like one of the stories like I just listened to was about how this alien federation discovered humans, and they're doing like an integration, like assimilation program with humans, where they're bringing all these humans to like an alien university,
Yeah.
and it's centered around this one alien character from the university who like their species is basically dragons. Like so like this character she essentially just like looks like a dragon,
Yeah.
and her father is a diplomat, which means she's able to get like a higher clearance level to look at like backups of like the human internets.
Hang on, does she get that clearance level if her dad is a diplomat?
Corruption.
Ah, okay.
Of
Say
fucking
no more.
course.
Yeah, so she was like exploring the human internet, and like out of curiosity, she was just like exploring like various parts of the human internet, and she quickly finds out that like humans have a particular interest in having sexual relations with like non-human entities, and she finds out that like humans
He discovers
Humans-
furries.
discovers furries, discovers scalies, and find out that like just by pure coincidence that humans have a fascination with creatures that look like her, species, and yeah, some humans like to fantasize having sex with uh species with dragons that happen to look like her, and she takes a particular interest in that.
This is
Oh.
smut, isn't it? This isn't.
Yeah,
This
I mean,
isn't
this
a
is not a
short
sci-fi
story.
story. This is
Yeah, no,
fucking.
this is
No,
this is definitely
fun.
fanfiction.
No,
This is
it's fucking
definitely
no.
fanfiction.
It's pure fucking smut. That's all it is. It's just pure
I
fucking
mean,
smut.
I at least respect that it's smart. At least
No,
go full out.
no. Like so, like the humans show up. Like the initial batch of humans is like there's 20 humans. 5 of them are from Germany. 5 of them are from Japan. 5 of them are from France, and 5 of them are from the U.S. And she like hooks up like one of the Americans.
Of
And-
course.
Yeah. Which is no, that actually surprises me. I thought she'd hook up with one of the Japanese students, but maybe that's just me being racist. But no, she hooks up like with one of the Americans.
Yeah.
Don't you know? By now, we always get there first. We got to the moon first. We're gonna get to the aliens first too.
If
And we're gonna get-
some of the aliens that wherever they are, some of them have to have like some kind of thing where they think about fucking aliens though.
Oh no,
Yeah,
we
for
can't be the only ones
Yeah,
thinking about
yeah.
fucking aliens. You know.
I mean, that could
Yeah, for
also just
sure.
be projection talking.
I mean, true, but at the same time, it's like if someone's fantasized about something, you can pretty much be sure that someone else has fantasized about that something similar.
Imagine if
Oh
the
yeah,
first
yeah. Like one of the little like side stories in the greater story is that when the French like when they all go to the cafeteria, they all find out that like the alien cafeteria does not use spices. So like the French students like almost have like a fucking riot.
Yeah.
Are you telling
As
me
you should.
that the colonizing aliens are British?
Yes, the colony. Yeah, they don't they don't spice their foods.
Incredibly cringe of them.
Yeah. I don't know. It was like it like I follow this channel because it's like most of the human fuck yeah stories are just like incredibly cringe and stupid, but they're really entertaining. Yeah.
These ones, you mean?
Yeah. Well, because it's like like the stories they curate are like not like the really dumb stories. It's like, oh, humans drink dihydrogen monoxide. Oh, that's so Oh God, they're so dangerous. Yeah, it's like no, it's like humans like live on a planet with like, and like the basis of the story is like humans are abnormally creative. Like that's like the underlying story. Aside from like the dragon fucking story, like is presented as like the humans are incredibly creative, which is reasonable.
I do like sci-fi where humans are not just like the middle species, where there is something about them that is stand out in the way that other species have things that stand out about them.
Yeah, because it's like the university they go to is like for the top of the top. Like the best
Yeah.
species, the best of the species go to this university, and the humans just excel at like forming new ideas and
Yeah.
like reactions to different situations.
Yeah.
Whereas like the other alien species don't even think about that. Yeah. It's like like the thing that blows like the other students away is that humans spend up to and over a quarter of their lives just being educated and
Yeah.
learning.
Mm.
Yeah.
I look forward to when you like if you're under 100 people think of you as a child, basically.
Yeah.
Hopefully we won't all look like that guy, though. That would suck.
Oh,
Hell yeah. Yeah, so, anyway,
Yeah, sorry. I mean, yeah.
No, no. You have absolutely nothing to apologize for. You all want to
the
hear?
conversation, you should be ashamed of yourself.
You all want to hear
I'm joking.
a great joke?
What?
Oh, I'm totally
Wait,
down for jokes.
What's the difference between a priest and a tennis?
No clue.
What's a tennis? But also, what is the difference?
Well, the tennis has pubs and the priest don't.
I really don't get this at all. What does a tennis mean?
Well, tennis player, like no problem, right? For you not knowing that.
Okay, and then what do you mean by pubs?
What are you like trolling me right now, dude? You don't know what pubs is?
Oh, as in pub, as in bar, like a place where you have drinks.
No, yeah, I know that pubs, but what I mean is like the little hair on the balls.
Oh, you mean pubes. So a tennis player has pubes and a priest doesn't. Is a joke about tennis balls being hairy?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the joke.
But priests probably have pubes. I mean pubes.
In this case, they don't actually they don't have those.
Okay, thanks for explaining the joke.
This is the fucking funniest interaction I've ever seen on like I don't know what fucking app this is, but
This looks like Tinder.
yeah,
This
on
looks like Tinder.
Oh yeah, this is Tinder. Yeah, I recognize it now. Yeah, this is. It's just every aspect of this joke is just insane. Oh, this is going straight in my React folder too, dude.
Also, I
Fucking Cetor with the reaction. I don't know what's going on with Cetor, but he's been on top of his game for like reaction picks this entire month, I would say.
Yeah, do you keep like score? Do you have like a fucking scoreboard?
I'm not keeping tally, but like from what I can see, like yours are okay, boss man, but his have been on point. Let's be real. Let's be fucking real.
So I wasn't
His have been
listening to
on
you,
fucking
given
point.
that you were criticizing me.
Yeah, boss man don't have any good reaction picks. Cringe, unsub from him. God damn.
Oh hell yeah, yeah. That's that's a fun one. I remember when these streams were just like jokes, like memes. People were posting memes all the time.
And now we just do whatever the fuck we want.
Now we're watching you play Minecraft.
I'm playing fucking Valheim. I'm just
Oh, I thought
basically
because of the
Minecraft.
blocks.
No, it is Minecraft.
Okay.
fuck off.
no lie, I actually do want to have a game where Kratos just fucking kills Jesus.
Oh no, he's not gonna be able to. Wait, no, actually, this can go two ways. So first of all, let me say I have not played the recent God of Wars. I've only played the first one. That is it. That is my entire experience with God of War. There's two ways this can go about. First of all, they go the God of War, the recent God of Wars, where it's just like purely emotional shit, and it's like he fights Jesus a couple of times, and then just comes to realize, oh, he actually loves me for who I am, and then just fucking dies on the spot.
Alternatively, he has to fight this Jesus.
I do like a God of War Ragnarok where he's like he has to fight Thor a couple times. It's just like two dads fighting, and it's just like it's like you think like, oh, they're fighting about their kids, and it's like, yeah, that's like the general thing is like they're fighting about their kids, but no, it's just like they just want to beat the shit out of each other.
It's just for fun, dude. I'm fucking.
You know, just for funsies.
Angry old men.
And it's like Thor, like I do love that Thor has like a pot belly, and it's just like persistently drunk. He's just like an alcoholic. It's like, yeah, that's total dad energy right there.
Hell yeah.
That reminds me. I saw a video. Someone posted in the Bong chat. Of these two guys, like just on the street fighting, like two random English guys, and one of them's like really old.
Yeah.
And he gets hit in the head and like is about to fall over, and then the guy fighting him goes over and like to break his fall. And it's like the most polite fight I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I saw another video. It was a fight on a New York City subway station where like the one dude just like fucking punches the other dude like right in the head, and the dude staggers back and like falls onto the tracks. And so like the dude that punched him like jumps down and like picks him up and throws him back on the platform, and then climbs back up, and the dude's like, "Yeah, I just want to fight you. I'm not trying to kill you."
I fucking hear a lot about subways. Where are the dumb ways though?
There
Or
are
even
others
just the
coming.
switchway.
The switch. Oh, Domways are like the L trains in Chicago because they're
like
literally
the
above
monorail?
the streets.
Hell yeah.
They're literally above the streets. Those are the L trains.
That rocks.
Oh my god. Oh geez. I just remembered a thing that happened to me. This was like back when I just like first started driving. There used to be a meat market near downtown Chicago. It was called the Fulton. It was called the Fulton Meat Market. It's all
Yeah.
now it's all gentrified. It's like all full of like white people and like cafes and like startups and shit.
Yeah,
But
fuck
back
yeah.
when I first started, it was like literally full of like slaughterhouses and butcher shops. And like through the middle of it was an L train that went like right through it. And I remember like one of my first trips down there, like by myself, it was like one of the worst experiences that I ever had as a truck driver. Like I went there, I ended up like driving down there at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I
Pretty rough.
and so I get the place where I'm supposed to deliver, and I have to like back in my like massive trailer like right off the street. And this like random dude like starts like helping me back in, like he spots me and shit and gets me backed into the dock and helps me out and shit. And then he runs up to my truck and he's like, "Yeah, man, so that'll be $20." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What?"
Fuck you.
I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Fuck you." And like he realizes I don't want to pay him, so he like starts like hanging off my mirror to like break the mirror of my truck off.
Oh my
So
god.
So I'm like, oh my god, okay, like fuck it. So like I pull out like $10 or something out of like my wallet. And I just like give it to him, and like and he like he tells me to fuck off and like takes off. And then like a couple hours later, my like truck gets unloaded. So like I go to pull out, and like I'm going down the street. I'm like going along because the L train is like right above the street.
Yeah.
So I'm like driving along, and then like I follow the directions that I have like written down, like of where I'm supposed to pull off and like get back onto the interstate so I can get like to like a more civilized area for trucks. And so like I go to make a left turn, but I cut it too short. Like I cut the corner too tight, and I hit the fucking support beam for the fucking L train.
Ooh, that's pretty hefty, dude.
Yeah, no, the L train was just fine. My trailer was fucked.
Oof.
Yeah, I mean they gotta build those sturdy, right?
No. So like there was like a hole in the trailer. This is like I'd only been driving for like 2 or 3 years, and thank God, like when that happened, like my company was like, yeah, we're not gonna send you back down here again. You obviously don't know what the fuck you're doing. I was like,
Jesus.
I was like, okay, thanks.
Just
So,
you just
yeah.
speak the secret language.
Yeah, just because I didn't. Yeah, just because I basically got like fucking frisked by a fucking crackhead or whatever that dude. Yeah, that was the thing that pissed me off the most. Was like, I gave the guy like I like. That was the thing that pissed me off the most. Was that dude fucking like hanging off my mirror, like threatening to like break the mirror off.
It is fucked up to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was like way back in the day, and it's like, nowadays it's like as much as I hate gentrification because it forces
I
like
can
people out.
understand.
Yeah, but it's like at least it got the crackheads out of there.
Woo!
Yeah, damn.
Hell yeah. I love crack.
Crack is based.
I don't like taking crack, but man, when you see people on crack, that's a fucking
Shit show
night
and
out.
funny.
Yeah, that's a fucking night out. I used to watch this dude on YouTube called Super Bunny Hop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he would talk about like he would go to Japan and he'd talk about like, yeah, man, you could go to Japan with like $10 in your pocket. You spend like $6 on beer, and then like you could take $4 to the arcade and that'd last you all night. And I'm like, damn, I wish that could happen here.
Is that true though? Like,
apparently, like the beer is expensive, but like the arcades are really fucking cheap, and you can drink at the arcades.
I mean, of course. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm speaking to Americans.
Yeah, no, like in America you can't like normally.
I wouldn't be surprised if in Germany you could drink in a kindergarten. Like we're such a nation of like high functioning alcoholics. It's incredible.
Oh yeah, no, it's sort of similar in France. Not necessarily like
Really?
we're functioning alcoholics, but kids can under supervision get alcohol. Like they can taste.
That makes them more pliable. For the
I mean,
burger.
I mean, we do have barcades here. Like, there's a barcade down the street,
Yeah.
but it's a bar that also has an arcade.
I mean, we don't really have arcades. We have like fucking gambling establishments, which are always super fucking seedy. Like even the ones that aren't seedy. But yeah.
Yeah, we have gambling establishments as well, which is, but it's never like the good gambling. It's like you don't got blackjack, you don't got poker. It's always like Keno in like fucking slots, like the worst type of gambling games. Like blackjack and poker are fun,
Yeah.
like because they have a bit of strategy there. Whereas, yeah,
I wish I could do a Joe Biden voice, because then doing the jack always gotta be black. Have the white jack also sometimes.
Get 'em.
How do I open a PDF, white jack? Yeah.
Oh wait, what's the name of that one dude he beat up? The one black kid he beat up when he was a lifeguard?
Sorry, what?
Yeah, Joe Biden when he was a lifeguard, he like beat up a black kid.
Are you talking about
fuck?
Corn Pop or whatever his name is?
Yeah, he was named like Cookie or something.
No,
What the
it was
fuck was-
Corn something. It was definitely Corn
Oh,
something.
Corn Pop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Corn
Corn
Pop,
Pop. Yeah, he
What?
he was- yeah, when Joe Biden was like a teenager, he was a lifeguard, and like he ended up like beating up a black kid named Corn Pop. And
What?
like this.
But what more context, please?
Oh god.
Yeah, you know-
Okay,
You're not
okay.
giving
Let me
enough
look.
I
context
thought Corn Pop instigated it. Like they came with weapons, and Joe Biden was like, This is
Is
my
Joe
Wait,
Biden
there's like
ghetto?
50
this is my pool.
Oh wait, there's a 15-minute video on YouTube where Joe Biden explains the corn pop story.
Yeah,
Hang
yeah,
on.
it was a story he told because
It's
like he
probably
went to the
a-
pool.
It's probably a
Why
story
is
that
it-
takes like a minute, and he's just too much dementia.
It was during the
Okay.
election. It was a massive story because he went to the pool that he used to like sit at
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
okay.
told the story
This
to
is
like
fi-
a bunch of random people.
Yeah, this is okay from the
Admit
Guardian.
to your crimes. Admit
From
to
the-
your crimes live on national television. Please.
Okay, so the Guardian posted an article. Biden says he faced off a gang leader armed with a razor blade in 1962. A former president of the NAACP supported Biden. Okay, so yeah, 1962, Joe Biden was a swimming pool lifeguard in his early 20s, and he faced off with a guy by the name of Corn Pop, who was leader of a Delaware gang called the Romans.
What the fuck?
Man,
Uh,
the '60s sounds so surreal.
It sounds like a plot to a Shadowrun.
It
Instead
really
of calling
does.
Instead of calling the police, Biden met Corn Pop and his cronies head on, having armed himself with a 6-foot piece of chain. After the standoff, Corn Pop backed down.
Damn, he got him some chocolate chip, dude. Fucking.
Okay, so yeah, he was a lifeguard of this pool. This Corn Pop dude with his gang, the Romans, were like threatening him. So when Biden got off, he just like approached him with like a 6-foot piece of like chain, and got into a fight.
God
This is like the
damn.
true story behind Dark Brandon.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Alright, it's anyway, it's fucking, the time is over, the stream is ended, vorbei. Good tschüss.
Bye bye.